interested in learning Salesforce? Why are you waiting? Salesforce User Group Chennai. Salesforce Career Development Program. From when 5th Feb 2022 to 14th May 2022. Training on Sunday and Saturday 9:30 am to 1:30 pm IST. 100 days special learning challenge. Join now, let's come together to network. Have fun learning from 5th Feb 2022 to 14th May 2022. Get a chance to win a certification voucher. Top 5 Trailblazers win certification vouchers. Register today, links are in the description. Join our Telegram group for event updates. Also, training video available on our YouTube channel.
Welcome to 100 days self-planning program. Today is
Yes, sir.
today is our fourth day of session. Today we are going to have the second part of application. Today our speaker is Milo Babu from Demand Blue. He is having 9 years of experience in IT field and 4+ years of experience in Salesforce. He is a system application architect and he is an all-rounder in Demand Blue. So he knows about development, about business knowledge, and he is the all-rounder of our session today. I want to welcome Milo Babu and Milo Babu.
Thank you, Anji. Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Melo. So, I work for Demand Blue, and I am currently working as a system analyst at Demand Blue. Like I said, I have 9 years of experience. So before that, I want everyone to join this link or this meeting through our the event link. Okay, make sure that you're not joining directly through Zoom. Through the event link, you should join so that your attendance will be marked. Okay. So this is my profile. So if you guys have any doubts or any issues related or any doubts related to this course or on the learning challenge, kindly reach out to me at Twitter or you can email me as well. I have provided my email address as well as the Twitter account ID is here. Okay, so let's start. So today we are mainly going to discuss about the sharing and visibility in Salesforce. Okay, so we have 3 different levels of sharing and visibility. For example, one is declarative sharing, the other one is performance and scalability sharing, and the other one is programmatic sharing. So today we are going to discuss in detail about declarative sharing only, not related to performance and scalability, and not related to programmatic sharing. So since we are going to discuss detail about the declarative sharing, so I'll explain you what is declarative sharing. Okay, so declarative sharing is nothing but what are the ways we can share a data using declarative functionalities. Okay, and when it comes to performance and scalability, it's used for okay, so where their maintainability is large. And the third one is programmatic sharing, where where a solution requires a programmatic approach. Then using programmatic approach, we can share the functionality to achieve certain requirements. Okay, so with to simply put it as like things which we cannot declaratively share, we can use programmatic approach to share the data. So today, like I said, we are going to discuss about declarative sharing. Yeah. So in declarative sharing, we have Salesforce is like an ocean. There are a lot of things to learn. Okay, so, and each one single topic will take like hours of lectures. But unfortunately, I don't want you to get make you bored because of all the complete functionalities. I'll give you the most important and relevant data. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the object and field level security here. Okay, and in object and field level security, we'll be discussing about the limitations and field level security settings. Okay, and also how do we limit the user from different types of information, from accessing different type of information. Okay, and next we will be going to see about declarative features of data access. For example, when we say about declarative features of data access, we'll be taking care of granting access, sharing, maintaining the tables, all the related details that when it comes to data access. Okay, we will be taking care of that. We will how is the security related functionality there. So that we using this we will be learning that how to provide a proper data access to a relevant user. So since most of you are new to Salesforce, this is very important for you guys. Okay. Then followed by team sharing. It is also an an ability in Salesforce where you can team share your accounts and case related data. Okay, records. Okay, so it will give perfect visibility to the team members, which is all who are there in the team for accounts and contact records. Sorry, case records. Next is I will going to teach you about how do we create list views and reports and dashboard folder access. Okay, and followed by role hierarchy and role hierarchy for data access and enterprise territory management. So today we are not covering community user security, which is different. Okay, so next is a data storage and residency solution. So like I said, right, how do we store our data? Okay, with which by leveraging the permissions properly. Okay, using a declarative approach. That is the main aim that we are going to implement today. By using declarative section alone, we are going to store the data. Okay, and followed by sharing and visibility option. Okay, then sharing files. So first we'll go through object and field level security settings. It's first part of the declarative approach. So object and field level security settings. So it has other subcategories like object level security, field level security, profiles, permission sets, and permission set groups. Okay. So since we saw a basic of profiles permission set yesterday, I'll again give a run through and I'll tell you how we are going to address all these things in Salesforce in detail. And when it comes to data access, okay, there will be two levels of access. One is object level access and the other one is record level access. So here the object level access include the field level access as well. So I will explain you what is an object, what is the field, okay, and in the upcoming slides I will explain you when by comparing it with the database. Okay. So, what are the layers of security that Salesforce provide? Okay, Salesforce provide with different layers of security, and the main layers of security are like organization level. Organization. Yes, can you go on mute? So the main layer of security that Salesforce provides is organization level security, object level security, and field level security, and also we can prevent or provide access. Okay, I'm sorry, we can provide access using sharing rules. Okay, so using these configurations, we can provide security for a record or for a user, or depends whichever way you want. Okay. So when it comes to organization layer, okay, and the configuration is login IP ranges and login hours. I'll explain you detail. Also, I'll show you a sample how it is done in both profile and as well as organization level. Okay. The login IP ranges can be also handled in profile level and as well as the organizational level. Okay, so it can decide, okay, when or where or how a user can log into the org. Okay, I will give you a small example as well. and followed by object level security. So when it comes to object level security, what action can a user have on a specific object? Okay, whether he or she should be allowed to read that object, edit that object. Okay, depends. Okay, so then followed by field level security. So it's like a record related. Okay, whether a field can be edited by a user or it's only read only for a user. It also using that also we can restrict the security. Okay, then followed by sharing configuration. So whether a records can be shared, okay, to a particular user or a group of users, we can do that. Okay, so in Salesforce, you all know that data is organized in objects. Okay, and say, during our initial classes, we learned that there are two types of objects: standard object and custom object. Right. So here the objects are equivalent to database tables. Okay, and the fields are equivalent to database columns, and the records are equivalent to rows. So it is nothing but Salesforce objects are like a table or a database table, okay, where it will store the data. So when I say a table, I hope you all know about a database table. For example, there are a lot of database tools available in the market, like Oracle, MS SQL, SQL, or everything. Those are all the database tools that we have. And in the database table, okay, a table consists of rows and columns, which is called as records. Okay, so here the term object level security, the read, edit, create, and delete records permissions. Okay. So also we can, how we restrict the permissions using profile and permission sets. Okay. So these profile and permission set will determine the object level security access for each object in Salesforce. So consider you're having an object, okay, and that object level security will have create, read, edit, and delete access. So you can restrict based on your requirement, okay. And field level security. When it comes to field level security, there are see one record, okay, one object can have multiple fields, okay. So, for example, you single user, there are like three users. Okay, user one, user two, and user three. If user one want to see only field one, then he should be provided with a separate access. If user two wants to see level field one, field two, and field three fields, then he should be provided with a separate access. The same for user three. When he wants to see all the fields, okay, then he will be provided with a separate access. Okay, not only he can see, he can edit as well based on the access. Okay, so the main important note you need to understand here is the read object level security will not give read access to all the object records. Okay, it will only use the ability to read a particular record. Okay, you have to keep that in mind. May ask for interviews as well. I'll explain you about that. So I will open my org and I will show you these details. Okay, when I start with profiles. So before that, I will give you a run through. Okay, like I discussed, you can restrict users. Okay, when it comes to organization security, you can restrict users. Okay, by entering Salesforce org. How you do that? Okay, maybe for example, real-time example. Okay, consider that you are working at a bank and you have three different branches: branch A, branch B, and branch C. Okay. So branch A timing will be like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. Branch B timing will be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. And branch C timing will be 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So each three branches will have three different timings. Okay. So the users from these branches, okay, the employees from these branches then should only log in or use the application only to the allot timing. For example, if the branch is allotted with 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., then only at that particular login hours only this Salesforce org should be accessible. Okay. We can also it's not mandatory that we should be having login hours, but we can if based on your organization request on this requirement, you can enable this or you can disable this as well. Okay. And when it comes to IP addresses, okay, you can also restrict users based on login IP addresses. Okay. And in order to restrict that, you need to go to setup, session settings. Okay, select enforce IP ranges on every request. Okay, and you have to understand that it will be affecting all the profiles that have login IP restrictions. Okay, that means even profile will have IP restrictions, like I said previously. So both it can be restricted through profile as well as the organizational level. Okay, so let's start with profile. Okay, profile is the major important aspect for Salesforce. Okay, uh, without a profile, a user cannot exist in Salesforce. So, what is a profile? Can anyone answer me? What is a profile according to your terms?
It is providing a set of permissions to set of users who have access to that profile.
Great. Providing permissions. Okay. Both. Yeah. Correct. So profile will decide what kind of permission an user can have. Okay. And one important main thing that you need to understand here is like one profile only is allowed per user. Okay. One user cannot have more than one profiles. Okay. Yeah.
It is like a group name, like in SQL you have groups, right? Like that.
No, it is a bit different here. So when it comes to what do we say? Maybe more or less, it's partially right. How do I put it? So it's like one-to-many relationship. Okay. For example, a single profile. Okay, say profile A. Profile A can be shared to 100 users. Those 100 users can have the same profile. So all the 100 users will have the same level of access. Okay.
Okay. So first we will create the profile, then only we will create the user.
No, first we will create profile already. So okay, user creation is separate. Okay. For example, for profile, a user will be a child object. Okay. So when you are creating a user, you are supposed to provide a profile. It is a mandatory field. Without that, you cannot create a user. Okay.
So it means a profile should be exit first, right? Before
yes,
creating the user.
yes. So Salesforce, since like I said, so profile are already there. Okay. There are two types of profiles, right? One is standard profile and another one is custom profile. Salesforce does have standard profiles, which is already pre-built and existing. Okay. The only thing is that we will not have much control over the standard profiles. Only certain things can be changed in the standard profile. Okay. Because it is comes with out of box functionality in Salesforce.
Okay.
Okay. So I will share you my org. I'll start with profile. While it load, I'll tell you simply that what is a profile. See, for a definition, exact definition, profile is a container, okay, which contains a set of permission to be assigned to one or more users. This is what a profile is, okay. So after logging into Salesforce, go to setup, okay, type profiles, and it will take you to the profile page, okay.
Mhm.
So it will display the list of profiles what all you have in your current organization. This includes both standard profiles as well as custom profiles. Okay. How do you differentiate standard and a custom profile? It's very easy. You see there is a checkbox or a field called custom checkbox field. So if this checkbox field is checked, that means it is a custom profile. If the checkbox is not checked, it is a standard profile. And you can only clone a standard profile, and it is the best practice. Okay, make sure you always try to use custom profiles. Okay, because that is safe for every organization. You just have to clone the existing standard profiles, okay, and try to modify according to your requirements. Okay, so this will give you the upper hand. Okay, you will be in control of that profile. Okay, so make sure that whenever it is a best practice that Salesforce is saying that whenever you are playing with profiles, make sure that you use custom profiles in order instead of using standard profiles. Okay, so Salesforce does have certain standard profiles like system admin profiles, the read-only user profiles. Okay, so those profiles will not have also, one more important thing is that you cannot delete a standard profile. Only custom profiles can be deleted. Okay. And each profile will have a licenses, and one license can be associated with multiple profiles. Okay. Okay. So, what do we say? By using profiles, we can configure multiple features. Okay. Before that, let me show you one more thing. The view of the profile. Okay. So there are two views for a profile. Okay. The original profile user interface view. Okay. All the settings will be in single page. And the second view is enhanced profile user view. Okay. And it will be segregated I will show you how does both look like. Okay. So let me.
And one important thing on cloning a profile is,
sorry.
Yeah, one important thing while doing a cloning is the license will be the same. What
Yes.
from which profile you are cloning, same license will be applied. So we can't change the license. In that case, we have to go and create new profile.
Melo, I have something to ask. Can you just give us a briefing about license profile more?
License of profile. Yeah, sure. I'll come to that. Yeah. I have separate slide for that.
Thank you.
So, like I said, right, like original profile users. Okay. So that is the original profile user interface that I'm going to show right now. Okay. Right now it is Let me open one of the profile. Okay. Consider that sales executive profile. Okay. So right now this view is modified. Okay. This means it is an enhanced profile user interface. All the data are segregated into different parts. Okay, I will explain you and I will show you that as well. So now I'll again show you the different view of the profile. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to go to setup, user management settings, and have to select for enhanced profile user interface. Okay. So go to setup, user management, and you have to see enhance profile management. Okay. So this is enhanced profile user interface. It is enabled. So that is why you are seeing it is enhanced. Okay. So after disabling it, okay, how will the profile look? It will be the standard view. Okay. So now the look and feel got changed. This is the standard view of profile where all the data is consolidated into one single page and everything related to that profile is displayed over here. Okay, this includes everything, every permissions for that profile will be displayed in a single page. Okay, so if this checkbox is enabled, again it will go back to enhance user profiles change. Okay, and how about this enhance user profile list view? So this list view is like, if I disable this list view, and if I go to profile, the list view of the profile will be gone. See here, there is no list view and we cannot create any list view. I'll explain you about what is a list view later in the slide as well. So, one wait. So this is what both layout looks like. Okay. So like I said, like, for example, there are like 4 different users. Each users, okay, for user 1, user 2, user 3, and user 4. User 1 and 2 is associated with sales profiles. Okay. And user 2 is associated with marketing profile and user 3 is associated with service profile. Okay, so how does profile restrict the visibility? For example, when it comes to objects, okay, there is account object uh, where the OWD setting, okay, organization wide default setting is private. I'll explain you what is OWD and what are the different types of access that an OWD has. Okay, can provide. It's like since the account OWD is private, okay, and consider there is a custom object called customer, okay, and it is having the field public read only, okay, and the contact permission is controlled by parent. That is the separate permission in OWD, controlled by parent. That means it is controlled with account. So if the account is having private setting, then contact will also be followed, inheriting the same. Okay, and there is something other custom object called possession, and that is also in private state. So this user 1 and 2, okay, when logging into Salesforce, he will be going through these steps. Okay, when logging in, the request URL, then the IP address, then the organization ID, then he'll put the user ID and the form data, then OS details will be captured, browser info, session ID, all these things will be captured. Okay, when he is logging. So when based on his profile, he will be granting access to the relevant objects only. So for example, if I am logging in as a marketing profile, I cannot see any of these details because I don't have access. Only sales profile is having access to these profiles. Okay. So likewise, we should provide access to apps, okay, custom objects, Apex classes, visual force pages, record types, and custom tabs as well. So by using profiles, okay, we can configure multiple features. For example, we can specify what application is visible to an user. Okay, what are the tabs that should be visible to an user? What are the record types that is visible to an user? What objects should be visible to an user? What operations can perform on each object? Guys, can you go on mute? Okay, and what general and administration permission is applicable to user? Okay, followed by system timeout. I'll explain you about that as well. The Apex class and Visual Force pages permissions, password policies, like I discussed earlier, login hours and login IP. All these things we can discuss. Okay. So when coming into profile, okay, let me open a profile. I'm going to open a custom profile. So in this profile, okay, we can edit everything. What are the page layouts visible, each objects, okay, for this profile user, okay. And we have field level security, okay. For this object, what are the field level security we should provide? Then custom app setting, what are the apps that we should be he or she should be having access to, and also the tabs that he or she should be having access to, the tab visibilities. Then the record type settings, okay, it depends on each objects. What are the default record types that this profile user should be having access to? Okay, we can default a record type as well. And what are the administrative permissions that this profile should have access to? This is one of the important section for a profile. Okay, whether he or she should be run flows, whether he or should be able to generate like, you know, create reports or create report folders, public links, everything comes under here. Okay, the administrative permissions, whether he should have the ability to schedule a report, or whether you can manage all the reports and dashboards. Every administrative activities are under this section. Okay. Then comes to general user permissions. In general user permissions, we have again multiple levels of securities here. Whether he can able to run flows when he button, whether he can have the ability to run or send emails. Okay, whether he has the ability to edit events, edit tasks, etc. Okay, all the deals. So I want you guys to go through or create a custom profile. Okay, and based on it will be a good exercise for you guys, that you will be understanding profiles more. So what you have to do is just create as a user. Okay, assign your custom profile to that user, and try to explore the data visibility. Okay, can try to change the data, and try to modify the data, and try to identify what are the permissions that we can provide for accounts of the opportunities, cases, and everything. Okay. Okay, so these are the standard object permissions that we have currently on this profile. So in account, we have read permission, create permission, edit permission, delete permission. We do have view all and modify all. Okay, so these two permissions, right, that are quite unique. Okay, see, if the user is having these two permissions, okay, the user will get the access on the records created by all the other users in the organization. Okay, So irrespective of profiles or roles, okay, if these two checkbox is checked, view all or modify all check, he or this profile user can view every record, every that according related to that object, every record he can view based on his access. Okay, so this is the place where we restrict or provide access for account levels. Okay, for object levels. So when it comes to account is an object, we can consider that this profile should only have read access. Okay, I can do that. I can just remove create access, edit and delete access, so that only read access will be provided. He or she who logged into this profile will only have read access. The same goes for all the other objects, including custom objects as well. Okay. The second thing is that session. Okay, so the session settings currently, uh, what I meant about session setting. Okay, in the slide you have seen, right, system timeout. So what is the system timeout? So when a user logged in, okay, and for here I have set the timing as 2 hours. Okay, we can change the timing. Okay, so currently it is 2 hours. So if an user is logged into this Salesforce instance, okay, and he is inactive for 2 hours or more, then what will happen is he will be automatically logged out. Okay, that means the system will ask him to relog it. So that is the session security level that is provided here. Okay, required login. And next is followed by password policies. So here the password policy, in under password policies, we will set up the requirement for our passwords. Okay, for this profile user, what should be like user password will expire in 90 days. Okay, that means every 90 days I should change my password. Okay, so that means every 3 months I need to change my password. Enforce password history. That means
ఓకే నేను చెప్తుంటే అదన్నా చేయలేదు, ఏం చెప్పాను గమ్మున ఉండు. ఎంతసేపు మాట్లాడు.
guys who are not speaking, can you go on mute, please? So the next thing is enforce password history and 3 password remembered. Okay, for example, so last 3 password that you have put, you cannot have the same last 3 passwords, and the minimum password length should be 10 characters. Okay, and the password complexity requirement, it can be changed. So let me edit it and show it will be better.
Because Indian schools, every school Saturday Sunday holidays ఉంటాయి. School ఇంకా అలానే ఉంటుంది.
So the user password will expire in 90 days. We have these options. Okay, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days, 1 year, or it will never expire also. Okay, we can, depends on your organization request. Okay, if you are a system admin, you should modify the password policies for that profile user. Okay, and enforce password security. So like how many I for here, I have be remembering 3 passwords. Okay, we can like up to 24 password we can remember. Okay, next is minimum password length is 10. Okay, the minimum password length is 10. That means your password should have 10 characters of length. Okay, some organization will be 8, some organization will be 6. Okay, depends on your organization, you can set the password length. And the password complexity requirement. Okay, we have multiple complexities here, so there is no restriction. We can do anything, just numbers or alphabets or anything, if it is no restriction. Or it must include alpha and numeric character. That means there should be an alphabet and as well as there should be a numeric character. Okay, so there is other option include alpha, numeric and special characters as well. That means like you all know that alphabet, numbers and as well as special characters. So likewise we have more tough under the like three of the following: numbers, uppercase letter, lowercase letter, and special characters. It will be more secure. Okay, so this is how we can secure the password. Okay, and also like what do we say? Password question requirement cannot contain a password. Minimum invalid login sometimes. For example, the maximum is 10, or we can also have no limit. Okay, so you can if you forgot your password. Okay, you tried 3 times attempting to login. Okay, all the 3 times you gave the wrong password. If that is the case, what will happen is like, okay, your account will get locked. Okay, and once your account is get locked, okay, and there is something called lockout effective period. For 30 minutes it will be locked. Okay, after 30 minutes you can retry again. Okay, if you have given forever after 3 attempts, after 3 failed attempts, okay, for example, this will be better. Okay, forever means it will never be unlocked automatically until and unless a system admin is resetting your password. Okay.
Melo, one quick question. Hello.
Yes, I am listening.
Yeah, if in case my organization needs some other option other than these available in the drop down, will I be able to add a new option? Like I don't want the lockout effective period. What is other than these options? I want to add a new one. Can I do that? We have
No,
15, 30, 60, right? I want to keep it 24 hours.
No.
And I want him to be logged out next day. We
No.
cannot do that, right?
We cannot do that.
Okay.
This is standard Salesforce has provided.
Okay. Even in the custom profile also, we cannot do that, right?
Even in the custom profile, the same thing goes. This is a custom profile which I am showing you right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So if system admin's account was get locked, so what is the solution if I kept forever?
Okay.
Can
So
you please ask your question on the chat? I think
okay, guys. Yeah, we can save the questions for QA session, or you can ask in chat. So we have folks available to help you out. But to answer your question, when you are an organization, okay, you will be having multiple system admins working in your organization. So if one of the system admin account is locked, okay, the other system admin can unlock it for you. So because you will not be the only system admin user available in that org.
Okay.
So that way you can unlock that your session. Okay. So these are the session timeout that is available in Salesforce: 24 hours, 12 hours, 8 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 50 minutes. So these are the timeout things we have available. Okay. And like I said, this is the custom object permissions that we are having for an object level for both custom object and this is for standard objects. You guys have to try creating a custom profile and explore these options by your own. Okay, what you have to do is like, okay, you have to go to object manager, create a custom object for your reference. Okay, let me create a simple custom object. Okay, so in that I'm going to create. Okay, now I have created this test object. Okay, and let me go to profiles. Right. So I'm selecting this profile. Okay, I'm going to edit this profile. I'm going to search our object. Okay, test object. And I'm going to give permission based on whether this profile user should have read access. Okay, I'm going to give read access. Hello. Okay, I'm going to save. Okay, also before that, I want to create a custom tab for that object so that I can easily access that object. Okay, so I will explain you what is custom, because in the previous sessions also we have discussed about tabs, right? Custom tabs. So here is our object name, and we'll just give a style for our object. Okay, and just next. Okay, so the visibility of the tab. Okay, for example, this tab by default it will be default on if the visibility is changed to default off or tab hidden. You can well ahead and you can go and do that. So here I am going with the default. Okay, there are differences for default on, default off, and tab hidden. Okay, so like the differences are like, if it is default on, by default it is accessible and it can be used by that profile user. If it is default off, it will not be displayed. Okay, I mean it will be displayed, but it will not be he cannot be used. And if it is hidden, he cannot view the tab and he cannot use it. Okay, so if you want to change the settings, just click this apply a different tab based on these profiles. Okay, based on these profiles you can adjust accordingly. So what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to select and make it tab hidden. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select my profile alone. I'm going to make it default on. For all the others, it will be tab hidden. All the other profiles, it will be tab hidden. For me and my system admin, it will be default on. Okay. Next, which are the apps we should have access to this? I'm going to select all. If you were organized based on your organization request, you can restrict this as well. So you can restrict whether only the standard platform user should have this or all. So I'll go with the default approach. Since we have a standard sales, we definitely need this second one. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go with the default option all, and so all these country apps will have the access for this object. Okay, and I'm going to save it. So now the tab is created for this custom object. Okay. Also, before that, okay, use. Let me create a single record. So we have a record as well. Okay. So now, right now, I am a system admin, so I can able to view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to users. I'll check if I have let me assign this profile. Okay. So I'm going to log in as this user. Let me check if I have access to that. Now I have access to that, and also I have access to this record. But the thing is that I will not be having any edit permission for this record. I can, since this is only read only. Okay. So I will again log out as this user. I log in again myself. Okay. Yeah. Now I am back to system admin. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create a field in that object. Okay. So I will go to object manager. I will select my object. This is my object. I'll go to fields and relationship, and I'm going to create a new field. Okay, and this time I'm just going to a simple text field. Okay, length is 10. Okay, so here this is how we create a custom field for a custom object. Okay, so we'll go to fields and relationship. We'll click new, and we are going to select the data type for that field. For example, here these are all the data types available, right? So one of these data types we will select. Okay, all these data types are available in Salesforce. You can, based on your business requirement, you can select any of the data, or you can, if you want to select, you can select number as well. Okay. So right now in my case, I'm going to select text. We have pick list, multi-pick list, person field, and everything. Based on your requirement, you select the appropriate data type. Click next. Okay, and give a field name. And in my case, I'm going to give a category. Let me remove test. And the API name will be, I mean, field name will be category as well. So I have provided the maximum length of 10 characters. Okay, so it cannot exceed 10 characters. And it should be, if it should be a mandatory field, I can make it required always, in order whenever you are saving a record, if it should be entered for sure. Okay, then you can mark it as required. Okay, so or else you can mark it as unique, so it will not allow unique values, I mean duplicate values. Okay, it's in database, it will be like, we will say as a primary key. So if we want, we can do that. Then external ID, which is something different. So it's like a different field, like, you know, when you are trying to access this record outside their Salesforce organization, then this field will be handy. Okay, also if you want to add this field in the custom report types, by default it will be added. So when you're creating a report, this field will be visible for that report, or if you select this option. Okay, so I'm going to click next. Okay, the same way here also, we can restrict the visibility. For example, the same like how we changed in the profiles, right? The same way, if this field should be displayed for those users, then we can make it as visible. Also, we can make sure that it is read only. Okay. So in my case, I want it to be visible for two, system admin and inside sales. Okay, so I have selected these two options, so it will be visible for these two. And when it comes to page layout, it will automatically select the available page layout. So in my case, I have only one page layout, and in that page layout, it should be added automatically, and it's saved. Okay, so when I go to record, right now there is no field. So now we got a field called category and it is editable. Okay. So like I said, so I'm going to give us category 1. So if I logged in, since that user is having only read-only permission, okay, he or she cannot edit this field. Since I am a system admin, I can edit this field. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this from that user. Okay. Right now we can see the category field. So if we need to hide this category field, we can go to the object. Okay. Test object. So how did I navigate? This is the other way to navigate to objects. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click this gear icon, edit object. This button will be enable you to, it will take you to the current object in this screen. Okay. So if you click edit object, it will take you to this screen. Okay. And you have to go to fields and relationship and select the field, whatever you want. Okay. So after you selecting this field, so go click set field level security. Okay. So we have multiple buttons here, right? Edit, set field level security, view accessibility, and where is this used? So for example, if you want to know where are all the places this particular field is used, okay, you just have to click this button. Here, in our case, we have not used it anywhere. Only in the page layout, we have used this field. If we have used this field in any of the Apex classes or triggers, it will display, or reports, whatever it is, it will display here. Okay. So for now, since it is a new field and we have not added these fields anywhere, only in the page layout it is available and it is displaying the page layout. Okay. So right now I'm going to give set field level security. And I'm going to remove inside sales users. I'm going to save. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up, I'm going to log in as inside sales user. So I'm logging in as this user. I'm going to that particular object. So in order to go to the app launcher, and I will type that object name and it will be displayed. And once that comes, this is something called a list view. Okay. So right now I am in the recently viewed records list view, and there is something called all, which displays all the records, but based on your filter condition criteria, this list view will be behaving. Okay, I'll explain you about that in a while. So I am going to this record, so I cannot see this field. So but previously I can able, as a system admin, I can see category, but now since I have removed the access or restricted the access for this user, he cannot see that field. Okay, this is how we restrict access field level. Okay. So I will log out as that user, because since that user doesn't have much permission, only system admin has all the permissions. Now log in back in again as system admin. Okay. So that concludes profiles. Okay. So the main functionality of profiles that we have covered. Okay, one more thing I just want to tell all of you about is, like, for example, I'm selecting this profile, and here, what do we say? We can restrict accesses, right? For example, in the future, you may be creating Visualforce pages, Apex classes, okay? And during development, okay, you will be providing record types access. So every access, everything, any access related to this one, okay? You will be coming here and you will be modifying it. Make sure that, okay, so for example, I'm going to Visual First Page access. If you are a system admin and you are creating a Visual First Page, automatically the access will be added to you. But for other profiles, it will not be. You have to manually add it. Until unless you add it, the profile user cannot use that Visual First Page. For example, in the future development, you are going to create a Visual First Page to display a list of reports, okay, or by clicking a button or something, okay. So in that case, when the user go and clicks that button, it will not be displayed because it will say insufficient permission, or you will end up in error. At that time, as a system admin, what you have to do, you have to go, you have to give an access for that Visual Force page. So you will come here, okay, you will click edit, and you will select the appropriate Visual Force page that you have created, and you will push it here, and you will just click save, so that you will be having access to that Visual Force page. Along with this Visual Force page, make sure that you are providing the controller as well, the access to the controller. Okay, the same way. So I'm having account handler. So if you have an Apex class in the available Apex class list, that means this class doesn't have a permissions, okay, for this profile. In order for the functionality to run, make sure that you're giving access to this class as well, along with the Visual Force page. So that I'm going to push this Apex class aside to, so now it's in the enable Apex class permissions, okay. After I save, this profile user, okay, will have the ability, or we can view that Visual Force report without any issues, since the controller and as well as he has both permission for both. He can access both, and I mean, he can able to get use of that functionality, okay. That is pretty much about profiles.
Can I ask a question now, or should we take it at the end?
Try using the chat, or maybe in the Q&A we can get your questions.
Okay.
Okay. So next, we are going to proceed with the permission sets. Permission set is like, second level of security that we are going to provide, okay. For example, that you have already provided access through profiles, okay. And what do we say, your team, in your team, you have for in my example, I have inside sales profile, okay, and all of you are inside sales profiles. And if one of you is a manager, okay, so there are 10 peoples in my group, okay, and out of the 10, one is the manager, okay, and all the rest 9 people will be the subordinates. So, but unknowingly, my system admin has provided one profile, or allocated one profile to all 10 of you. So all 10 of you will have same level of access, okay. So consider that your manager need extra access. Since we can give only one profile, we cannot give extra access through profile, because if that is given, all 10 will also have the same access. So we are not supposed to change in the profile. So what we are going to do? What we are going to do is like, we are going to create a permission set, okay. Permission set is nothing but same like a profile. It behaves same like a profile, but it gives you extra permissions for a specific user. This is user related, okay. So this is record related, okay. So for example, what is the main reason Okay, well, what is the main reason that we need permission set? Can anyone answer? Why do we need permission set?
To provide
give
any extra
additional access to
permissions
the
to specific users or profiles.
Sorry, can you come again?
give additional access to the user.
Exactly. Okay, to give additional access to any user. Okay. So I'll show you in detail. Okay. So at the same time, when I am covering permission set, I will cover junction object as well. Okay. What is the junction object and how is it covered? Excuse me. Okay. So let me share you my Salesforce screen. Okay. Okay. This is the profile that I have at the moment. Where is that user? Users. Okay. Okay. I'm selecting this user. Okay. So right now I'm having the profile inside sales user. Okay. Along with that, I'm having the row, for example, this inside sales user, I'm going to provide extra permission for this profile. Okay, consider that our new custom object, okay, is having only read only permission. I want edit permission as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, before that, since I have marked that it's read only, I mean, it's visible to only, what do you say, only the system admin. I need to edit that property before I do any change. So I'm going to that object, I'm going to that field. Like as usual, I'm going to select the field level security. Okay, category. This is the object field that we have created, set field level security. And I'm going to provide access to inside sales. Okay. Now it is visible for the inside sales user. Now coming back to this profile, okay, I'm going to in setup, I'm going to search for permission set. Okay, in my org currently I have multiple permission set enabled, but I'm for our training purpose, I am going to create a new permission set. Okay. I'm going to provide a name for the permission set. Okay. Okay. Now it will display all this data same like a profile. So one important thing to note here is like you cannot revoke any permissions using permission set. Also, permission set will not support law IP related and session related changes. Okay. So what we are going to do is like I am for now what we are going to do, we are going to change the object setting. Before that, let me confirm whether our object is having access. Okay, test object. It will be having access, but just making sure. Go to edit and giving access to the object. But okay, create and edit. I'm going to give this permission for that object. Okay. And also I'm going to give field permission as well. the category. I already have a read access, but I'm going to give edit access. Okay. So now the permission set is created. Can anyone tell me, now I have created the permission set. Will it affect our inside sales user profile?
Not right now, until or unless we link it to that user.
Correct. Yeah.
It will
So-
not affect the profile at all. Only it will extend the user access.
No, it will not extend the user access also, because the permission set is not assigned to any profile set.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to assign this permission set. So like I said, so here we can discuss about junction object as well. Okay. So here the permission set assignment, it is also an object. Okay. Permission set is an object, permission set assignment is an object, and profile is an object. Okay. You're getting right. So there are three objects now. So from, like, what do we say, from user to profile, okay, or from user to permission set assignment, and permission set assignment to permission sets. These are the three related linked objects we have. One second. These are the permissions assignments we have. Excuse me, guys. Anand, can we go for a break for 5 minutes then?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.